G'day legends. So let's face it, this year we've had a great year. We've had a great year with Anthony Smith, Henry Cejudo, Kamaru Usman. We've had people saying some crazy things that have kept us entertained throughout all of 2024. But one of those people who brought us maybe the most enjoyment, an S-tier level of enjoyment, since apparently everything on the internet has to be collaborated into tier lists, is Jamahal Hill. And it's like this new character arc that he's gone into, which I am enjoying particularly calling Jamahal Heel. That's right, Jamahal Heel. He's essentially saved his career after getting brutally knocked out by Alex Pereira at UFC 300. Think about it. Think about all the people that have lost an attempt at a UFC title. I mean, it's not really fair to say it was an attempt at a UFC title, considering he had a UFC title. I guess this was an attempt to win back his title after giving it up on his own volition after being injured. Either way, he was fighting for a title and he lost. And rather than just fading away into nothingness, like the countless other title contenders that we have seen in the past, Jamahal Hill has managed to create this evil character since we have not seen since the peak of Colby Chaos Covington in 2016. And here is the true genius of Jamahal Hill. I don't know if he is actually that brain dead and believes the things that he says, or if this is a character that he's putting on just to keep his name in the media. That is the level of genius that we are dealing with. It's so meta, I don't even know if he's doing it on purpose. And I love it. I love it. I genuinely love it. I know. You're watching this channel, you're like, Dougie, you've made 1,000 videos trashing Jamahal Hill, but I love it because it brings a level of entertainment to the UFC that we are going to need going into 2025, right? All too often, there are fighters out there that are just great contenders that just get it done. Like JDM, right? Love JDM, great fighter, puts together a sick combination. But his skills on the microphone, there's not exactly a lot there, you know? JDM is, yeah, alright, I got the fight done, it's good to have a win, I just want to keep facing someone in front of me. So that's great, JDM, but I need a little bit more in between all the awesome combination. And when you're looking for something more week to week, look no further than Jamahal Hill. As recently as yesterday, boys, he has started going at Michael Johnson because Michael Johnson just pointed out that Jamahal Hill walking into the PI was maybe one of the most embarrassing things that we have always seen. Look at the tweet that Jamahal Hill dropped on him. Because Michael Johnson was laughing at him, Jamahal Hill goes, gang, you a bitch, one of the biggest clowns and pussies on the roster. They keep you around to get slept by debut fighters. I've made more money than you and I've been here and you've been here 3 times as long. So I would expect you to know the money game. It's wild, you know, right? Like Jamahal Hill, he walks into the PI, he says, we're not on Twitter now. Sharma goes, Sharma. Jamahal Hill slowly backs away. This is embarrassing. It deserves to be called out. It's like, Jamahal, what did you expect Alex Pereira to do, dude? The guy knows no English. He speaks none. Unless, of course, you believe that the only sentence that Alex Pereira knows how to say is, help me put it in your ass, which I think we can all admit, that's not really an Alex Pereira thing to say, is it? Anyway, Alex Pereira, the non-English speaker, just throws down the gloves and points to the cage with a nod, saying, let's settle it right now. And Jamahal Hill has to slowly back away and then goes ahead and releases a 40-minute video gaslighting everyone about what happened. Even though we could clearly see, everyone could clearly watch that video and see that he was the one that started it at the PI and then slowly walked away with the classic, you're lucky they're holding me back. Except this time, nobody was holding Jamahal back. And the whole incident with Jamahal Hill walking up to him and saying, we're not on Twitter now, it's hilarious because Alex Pereira really hasn't said anything about UFC 300 other than in response to what Jamahal Hill has been saying. Jamahal spent the last 6 months trying to convince all of the MMA community on Twitter that it was Alex Pereira who closed the distance at UFC 300, who moved in when Herb Dean tried to stop the fight, even though we have all watched it. I have had to stop my live streams twice in the past now to break this down frame by frame because Jamahal has successfully managed to gaslight a vast majority of the MMA community. I would love to play it again for you now on this video, but it's the UFC and their footage, and you know how they are with YouTube, so I can't really drop it in this video. But I will drop the link to the tweet in the description of this video, and you can see it for yourself. It was a clean punch. There was no controversy at all. But Jamahal's made a very, very successful argument that has convinced people that there is controversy with the stoppage. It's great, right? Because people call Ilya Topuria the biggest villain in the UFC at the moment. And maybe it is, because he does seem to want to go after all of our favorite fighters and destroy them. Like, Ilya Topuria has now got Charles Oliveira firmly in his crosshairs. But maybe Ilya is more of like an anti-hero, right? Because you could get behind Ilya Topuria. Whereas Jamahal Hill, he is becoming like a villain. I'm loving it. And this is where things are getting interesting for me personally as a fan going into 2025. Because I do also love Yuri Prohaska. Yuri Prohaska is absolutely hilarious to me. You know, if it wasn't for the broken English, you might actually assume that there was something wrong with his brain. Because it just him having the broken English sort of gets us to weave around the idea that he 100% believes that Alex Pereira was using black magic against him. if he spoke with a southern accent like Bryce Mitchell, Yuri Prohaska would be funnier than the memes that we all make about Bryce Mitchell and Nate the Train. We give him a pass because the broken English sort of lets everything slide past us, but the dude is clearly not all there. Look at his training styles. He moves his head in line with the tennis ball rather than away from it. I love him. I love Yuri Prohaska. I love him like anytime I've watched Tony Ferguson get interviewed, you know? I love him like I love Bryce Mitchell. I love him like I love watching Tito Ortiz videos online. There's a big place in my heart for Yuri Prohaska. But now Jamahal Hill has got Yuri Prohaska lined up, ready to go. And I think I need Jamahal Hill to win that fight. I need it. I need it to happen. I need Jamahal Hill to get past Yuri Prohaska so that way I can see Jamahal Hill standing on the opposite side of the cage of Alex Pereira and let them settle this at the main headliner of a pay-per-view. That's what I need to see. Jamahal Hill versus Alex Pereira 2. And yes, I know that Magomed Ankalaev deserves a shot. We have been saying that for years now. Magomed Ankalaev deserves another shot at the title. But let's face it, it's just not happening. And after everything that we've seen in the UFC over the last 12 months, we know that if Jamahal Hill gets one more win, all of this talking that he's done, this Colby Chaos Covington character that he's created, Jamahal Hill is getting himself another title shot with one win over Yuri Prohaska. And this is where the hype levels build up to me to their most ultimate level. Because recently on a live stream, when I was discussing this with the chat, and these are hardcore MMA fans. Hardcore MMA fans. They don't jump in on my chats and just talk about MMA because they got nothing better to do, right? They are in the world of it. They believe, 70% of them believe, that in a rematch, if Jamahal Hill is 100% healthy, he beats Alex Pereira in the rematch. In a stand-up battle against Alex Pereira. I was blown away by this. Absolutely blown away by this. I don't understand how anyone could see Alex Pereira, and the one thing that I give him credit for is that he is one of the best kickboxers in the UFC right now. I don't understand how 70% of hardcore MMA fans could see that Alex Pereira and see Jamahal Hill, who is almost clearly mentally troubled. If this isn't a Colby Chaos Covington sort of a character, then he is a mentally troubled man. And that man has got a 70% chance of beating Alex Pereira, and we know Jamahal Hill isn't going to be throwing takedowns. This isn't a just take him down, bruh, sort of a fight. Jamahal Hill is going to want to prove that he is the better kickboxer than Alex Pereira, and he is going to get drawn into that game against Alex Pereira. One of the biggest proponents of this in the live chat is, of course, our boy Blueprint. Blueprint, I love seeing you in the videos. Blueprint says, people think I'm an Alex hater. Same, mate. Just because you speak the truth about Alex Pereira doesn't mean you're an Alex hater, right? But he goes, people think I'm an Alex hater or a fanboy when I say that the Jamahal Hill fight was a fluke. Leave no doubt in the rematch, which I doubt. Remember, I said this. If Hill is healthy and still in his prime for the rematch, because he's like 34 right now, he sleeps Powhatan early. This is the sort of push that Blueprint was making in the live stream, and like I said, 75% of the chat members in the live stream agreed with him. So I need to know, number one, down there in the comments, do you believe that Jamahal Hill is putting on this character of Jamahal Hill? Or do you think that he believes everything that he is saying 100%? Do you think this is a character, or do you think he actually believes what he is saying? And if he does get through Yuri Prohaska, which unfortunately I'm kind of hoping that he does, so I satisfy my own sort of sick needs to see Jamahal Hill slept by Alex Pereira. If he does get through Yuri Prohaska and gets the rematch with Alex Pereira, Who do you think wins that fight? Because there's only about 20 to 30 people that watch the live streams, and I know a whole bunch of you are going to watch this video, so let me know down there in the comments, who do you have winning that fight? That's it, let me know about it. If you're new around here, g'day, my name is Dougie. I try and make an MMA video every single day of the week, and I try and go live about 3 times a week. So if you want to know when that happens, hit that subscribe button down there and that notification bell. And if you're already on board with the channel, go ahead and hit that like button to help the channel grow. Until then, you guys all have yourselves a great day, and I will see you all in the next one.